Can you use personal equipment for business purposes? My name is Sam Bryant, and I'm an attorney that helps build and protect Florida businesses. So if you want to use personal equipment for business purposes, you can, but you shouldn't. And there are two reasons why. There's a tax reason and there's a liability reason. So let's take the example of a cell phone. If you have one cell phone that you're both using for your business and for your personal, it's going to be a little bit harder to take advantage of the tax rules for your business. I'm not a tax advisor, but I can just tell you generally you are able to take advantage of certain tax write-offs for things that you use for business purposes. Now, what also happens, though, is you could be subject to an audit. And if you are subject to an audit, it could be harder to justify whatever expenses you write off for your cell phone if you're using it for both business and personal uses. But if you're using it for just a business and you have a cell phone that only the business owns and it's only used for business calls, if you're looking to write that off, then you may have an easier time justifying that in the case of an audit. And it could be easier for you to file your taxes using that specific deduction. The second reason is for liability purposes. When you own a business, you want to keep the assets of the business separate from your personal. And you want to do that because if in the event the business ever gets sued and loses a lawsuit, the only assets that should be at stake are the assets that the business owns. The moment you start using and blurring the line between personal and business, you subject yourself to having your personal assets be used to satisfy debts and obligations of the business. And the justification for that is if you are using a particular item for your personal as well as your business, you yourself are not respecting the personal business distinction. So if you're not respecting it as a business owner, why should a court respect it in a court of law? So think of it that way. If you want a court to respect the difference between you and your business, then you as a business owner need to respect the assets that the business owns versus the assets that you own, and you never want to commingle those. So if you found that helpful, just a little tidbit there for you. If you have any questions about commingling or keeping business expenses separate from personal expenses or business assets separate from personal assets, there's a lot of ways to contact me in the link below. And you can feel free to ask questions. I'm always available to chat and can help in any way I can.